I mean, all the Twitch stuff coming out of Twitchcon at the moment is kind of grim, so... Ugh. I wonder if Dan Clancy keeps his job. That's gonna be awkward, where I'm like, yay guys, I have connections with Dan Clancy now. I can email him whenever we get in trouble with any problems, and then... What's that meme? Some random person trying to be funny on the internet, and then someone Artemis with not Artemis. What is it? Apollo, the gift of foresight. Yeah, it might be that he does not have a job for much longer. Stuff's coming out. The Twitch security stuff at TwitchCon is probably gonna result in his head rolling, I imagine. Not to like wish people out of their jobs or anything, but like. That's a pretty serious thing to have happen, that his head may be on the line. The gift of prophecy, that was it. Thank you. I met him twice. I met Dan Clancy twice because he came to Australia for 2 different cons for Twitch stuff. And he was very nice and affable, and he was, you know, good at explaining things when we were asking him questions about like various different stuff. Make a twit longer and pile on. Nah, not my thing. I will say, absolutely, like, no shame or shade to anyone, but, like, you shouldn't, if you want to be professional, you should sort stuff out in private. You shouldn't do, like, Google Docs or anything like that. I understand people wanting to make, like, public statements on very serious matters, but you should probably resolve things in private rather than airing out dirty laundry, because you're just going to look immature and unprofessional, and like people already look at VTubers in that way, and when it comes to getting stuff like sponsorship and business offers and all that jazz, right? So like, is it worth the social clout of being the one correct person, like being correct in an argument, or I don't know, talking about how someone was not very nice friend, versus potentially missing out on, like, you know, future business offers because, oh, look at this drama Mark Farmer on Twitter, blah 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 blah. Anyway, I'm almost 40 years old, guys. I have no time to be doing drama stuff on the internet. Streaming often looks immature and unprofessional as a whole. Most people in this space are still between the ages of 21 to 25, I imagine. Of course, there's a representation of older people amongst, let's say, the more bigger, larger content creators, but I think for the vast majority, a lot of people in streaming are very young, very naive, and also, I am going to throw a little bit of throwing stones in glass houses. I don't necessarily think the people who are involved in streaming are the most socially adjusted people who had a lot of friends and relationships growing up, and so as a result, when they get into content like streaming and they get a big audience, all of a sudden they don't have any basis of how to handle interpersonal relationships because it's all just online, and they see how other people act online, and they're like, oh, that's how you do it. You, instead of talking problems through, you make a Google document about them instead, right? And I don't necessarily think it's their fault. We kind of had a global pandemic for like however many years that probably just like ruined a lot of people's social development for like 3 to 4 years maybe. So, you know, that's enough time to go through all of university, for example, right? Some people probably did go through all of university without ever getting to experience like the average university lifestyle of meeting people and getting friendships and relationships and all that, because they were just isolated on the internet instead. Anyway, sorry. That's maybe me projecting a little bit, but just assumptions making based on whatever the fuck is going on with my peers. Clio make a Google Doc and it's all about how to play EU4. I mean, it's all about EU5 now. That's where the money would be. Teaching people how to make guides on how to play EU5. We're not allowed to do that, apparently. We have to hold off on release for that stuff. So, yeah. That'll be where the money is. I'm only by the way.
Stay a while.
I'd let my magics grant you an elemental boost. Leave an opening. Focus your attacks.